Greetings LEGO fans and welcome to Retro LEGO, where we revisit and rank the sets in beloved LEGO themes from the past. Today we embark on a bold new chapter in the annals of LEGO Castle with the Ninja sub-theme. After spending the better part of 2 decades depicting the Middle Ages in Europe, LEGO Castle took a turn to the east, depicting Feudal Japan in the golden age of samurai and ninjas. This first wave, released in 1998, consists of 8 main sets and 4 promotional releases, depicting the conflict between the Blue Samurai, also known as the Imperial Forces, and the Robbers, a band of thieves that pillage and plunder under the shadow of secrecy and stealth. As much as I love all of the castle factions that came before, this one is particularly special to me, hitting right in the prime of my LEGO playing childhood and captivating me with its epic designs, effortlessly cool minifigures, and adventurous scope. And thanks to Slegengr's collection, I finally get to see them all in one place. So sharpen your katana and let's cut right to the heart of the first wave of LEGO Ninja. Taking the bottom spot on this list is set number 6013, Samurai Swordsman. Hitting shelves at $3 in 1998, this set is the kind that I wish still existed today. Just an awesome minifigure on horseback with some cool accessories. The minifig at the center of this set is the Shogun, the leader of the Imperial Forces and probably my favorite character of this wave. This guy is decked out from top to bottom. From the chrome gold horns on his brand new helmet mold, his wise and weathered character exclusive faceprint, his new samurai style armor, and his gold printed leg armor. One look tells you that he is a leader to be respected, and his noble steed makes that image all the more clear. Mounted on the saddle is the blue Imperial flag. Not made out of cloth this time around, but out of a thin plastic, making it much more durable. The horn and crossed katanas are an iconic motif in Japanese warrior culture. And, at least from my limited perspective, it feels like this sub-theme overall did a good job of paying homage to a non-European ethnic group without resorting to simple caricature. In the Shogun's hand is my favorite new element introduced in this line, the katana. It feels like my family had more of these than any other kind of sword in the Lego bin growing up. And their durability and cool factor made them last much longer than many that came before. Putting this set at the bottom feels like a technicality, as the simple quantity of stuff on offer here is low. But boy, is it a great introductory set to the theme that gives you one of the best characters right off the bat. Coming in at number 7 is set number 6033, Treasure Transport. Originally retailing for $6, this set gives the robbers their time to shine. As the title of the set suggests, they're moving some likely stolen valuables back to their keep, while a mysterious figure waits in the bushes, ready to ambush them on their journey. The treasure itself is carried by the robbers on an ornate palanquin, with the robbers' flag, made of the same material as the Imperial flag, waving proudly on top, and 2 set-exclusive stickered gates on either side concealing the valuables within. Open those up and you'll see a cloche full of gold coins, on its way to enrich this band of thieves. Right overhead are 2 katanas, standing at the ready in case things get dicey along the way. And that seems a likely scenario, as waiting behind this little bit of landscape is an elusive attacker. This is our very first actual ninja, the Gray Ninja. To the 8-year-old me that first saw these guys, they couldn't be any cooler. His mysterious hood is a new element that not only masks his identity, but also serves as a sheath for his katana with the included clip. I always thought it looked a little unbalanced when clipped all the way down on the hilt, so I would just slide it in like so. The allegiances of the ninjas are not ever explicitly spelled out in LEGO publications, but I like to think that they just do whatever suits them and their own morals, rather than choosing a side between the Imperials and the robbers. As with all original LEGO lore, it's a bit fuzzy and open to interpretation, which for a child's toy is the perfect way to be. The other 2 minifigures included here are definitely part of the robber clan. The first is who is most often referred to as the Green Robber. with his green vest giving him that distinction. He wears a black version of the same helmet mold as the Shogun, with his faceprint giving off a decidedly villainous scowl. His patched and tattered clothing, along with the knife tucked into his belt, suggest a lifestyle that's always a bit on the edge. The same is true of his counterpart, the Brown Robber, who is adorned with tattered leather armor that is, you guessed it, brown. His eye patch, stubble, and bandana give him a very piratey appearance, which is very appropriate given his chosen profession. Treasure transport is a big dose of action in a small package, making it a welcome entry in a universally great sub-theme. At number 6, we have set number 4805, Ninja Knights. Though this $6 set was technically released in 1999, I still consider it part of the first wave, as it features most of the main characters from this first batch of sets. Much like the Battle Pack-esque sets from Pirates and Castle in the past, this is a great way to bulk up your samurai army. Featuring the Imperial and Robber flags, a couple of guns and swords, and 5 minifigures, you get an insane amount of value for your $6 $1999. The figures included here are the Shogun, the Green Robber, and the Gray Ninja we've met before, along with 2 newcomers, the first of which is the Black Ninja. Of the hooded ninjas in this theme, this guy is my favorite, and he even played the villain in the very first brick film my brother and I made many years ago. And finally, we have the Young Samurai. Seemingly the standard foot soldier of the Imperial forces, this guy makes a number of appearances throughout the theme, and is the one I immediately think of when I picture the good guys of this story. It may just be a collection of minifigs and accessories, but in this day and age, it's hard to believe that a set like this ever existed. Certainly a sorely missed relic of a bygone era. Cracking into the top 5 is set number 6045, Ninja Surprise. Originally retailing for $13, this little remote treasure cache is tucked away far from the view of the law. This hollowed out bit of rock seems like the perfect place to hide valuables, were it not for the multiple robber flags flanking the entrance and flying proudly above. Might want to rethink that strategy, guys. On the other hand, that may not matter, as any unwelcome guest who tries to make a pass at the treasure is immediately given a thorough retribution. Pulling on this pin in the back releases an axe that's sure to put an end to any treasure-seeking journey. This play feature, along with the set as a whole, reminds me pretty strikingly of the Spider's Secret set from Johnny Thunder's expedition in the Amazon. Though, since this came out the year before, perhaps that set reminds me of this one. Ninja Surprise comes with 3 minifigures, all of whom we've met at this point. Though the Black Ninja gets one of the coolest inclusions this sub-theme has to offer, the Ninja Glider, taking stealth to the skies with its huge plastic wings. This type of wing was seen in a Time Twister set from the previous year, but it's given a unique print here, and in my opinion is put to much better use. This particular glider looks like it's had a rough go of it, with patches and tears printed all across the surface, furthering the image of the solitary life on the edge its owner must be living. Other fun new elements are the ornaments adorning either side of the structure. From what I can find, these are meant to represent Shachihoko, a sea monster of Japanese folklore with the head of a dragon or tiger and the body of a carp. Little inclusions like this are a really nice touch, giving some measure of authenticity and homage to the theme's inspiration. The art of the substantive small set was in full force in the 90s, and Ninja's Surprise is a shining example of just that. Taking the number 4 spot is set number 6088, Robber's Retreat. In many ways, this set, which hit shelves at $30 in 1998, is like a supersized version of the set we just talked about. Though, rather than just a little cave like before, we've got a full-blown base of operations, still looking like a blend of natural and man-made, but much more robust and spacious inside and out. They're not welcoming visitors though, because the second you advance beyond the beautiful black wooden doors, you're greeted by a 4-bladed monstrosity that'll leave you looking like Swiss cheese. Should you survive that ordeal, you'll be greeted by what looks like a small forge, but is actually a discreet hiding place for some gold. But make sure to make your escape quickly, or you'll earn a permanent residency in the upstairs prison cell. For even more defense, this stronghold has a handy mobile catapult, well stocked with plenty of boulders to hurl at any would-be attackers. And if you run out of ammo, you can always get your trusty katana out for some hand-to-hand combat. The set's 4 minifigures are once again familiar faces, with 2 black ninjas included this time. One to fly the ninja glider, and one to do some sneaky vine climbing on the side. The Robber's Retreat might be the 3rd largest set in the bunch, but it doesn't quite rise to number 3 on my list due to my own personal aesthetic taste, as in my book it's outdone by... Number 3, set number 6083, Samurai Stronghold. Originally retailing for $20, I not only love the look of this set, but it's the biggest set from the theme that I owned as a kid, so it was the focal point for so many of my own childhood ninja adventures. That copy has unfortunately been scattered to the wind, but I do still have the original brown wooden doors, the plastic imperial flag, and bits and pieces of the minifigures. The design is just beautiful, being the first on this list to look distinctly Japanese to my eye. Its balance of colors, the use of plant elements, and the placement of the square imperial flags all work so well together. But though these are technically the good guys of the story, they play just as dirty as the robbers, as you'll meet a very similar fate if you attempt to grab at their treasure. That is, if you even get that far, as a bunch of stones might just take you out of the game before you even step foot inside. We're once again given a familiar cast of characters, and all in all, the Samurai Stronghold adds up to be one of my most fondly remembered and most aesthetically pleasing of this whole line. The runner-up is set number 6089, Stone Tower Bridge. Along with having a great name, this set, hitting shelves at $50 upon release, looks fantastic and is loaded with play features. We'd seen similar sets in Wolfpack and Royal Knights in the past, but this one absolutely takes the cake in this form factor. It just looks mighty, with its structures on either end looking down imposingly on the bridge below. Beyond that, there's a lot of tomfoolery going on here. From the moment you cross under the threshold, you're in danger of surprise attacks from above, giant halberds taking you to an early grave, or just being flung clean off the bridge by unfriendly operators. If you're a friend, these traps can be easily disengaged, but if you're behind enemy lines, it might just be in your best interest to find a different route to wherever you're going. To the side of the bridge is this small, unassuming treasure wagon, carrying its expected complement of gold, but also well prepared for any skirmish it might come across. Though I'm just amused at the idea of the driver still being on board when the secret compartment is opened. Keep your hands, arms, feet, and legs outside the vehicle in this case. The cast of 5 characters included here are once again known to us, and the play possibilities here are simply endless. In fact, due to the modular nature of its construction, you can reconfigure the bridge just about any way you want, keeping the enemy forever guessing at what obstacle is coming next. Stone Tower Bridge is not only a triumph in looks, but it absolutely soars as a playset, delivering all the action you could want in a set of its size. Before we hit the top pick, I need to give a shout out to the 4 promotional sets offered this year with Kabaya Suites in Japan. 3016 Master and Heavy Gun, 3017 Ninpo Water Spider, 3018 Lego Shogun Go, and 3019 Ninpo Big Bat. All of these are great little supplements to the larger sets, taking the adventure to the land, sea, and air. Notably, they don't cut any corners with their minifigures like we've seen in the promo sets for other themes, each featuring the full printing and accessories you'd find in the main releases. All 4 of these sets would see additional limited releases in New Zealand and the UK in the following year, but never hit regular store shelves like the others. It's a fun lineup worthy of an honorable mention for sure, but includes nothing that you don't already get at a larger scale in the main sets. And at number 1 is the very predictable set number 6093, Flying Ninja Fortress. When I saw that $90 price tag in the catalogs, I knew this set was impossibly out of reach, but that didn't stop me from fantasizing about its many wonders. I don't think it's surprising to anyone that I think this is an aesthetic masterclass, taking everything I loved about the Samurai Stronghold and sizing it up to epic proportions. Be careful when entering though, because just like literally every other structure in this wave, you're greeted by a swift blow from a sharp object right off the bat, in this case being 4 large halberds at once. Ouch! The interior of the fortress is a fascinating array of perfectly ordinary things like living quarters and storage, all the way to booby traps, life and death shenanigans, and of course a dungeon for unlucky foes. But you never have to look at the same fortress twice, as not only are the towers interchangeable with each other, but much like the Stone Tower Bridge, the whole thing is built on detachable modules that you can assemble any which way you please, opening up all sorts of play possibilities and configurations. The fortress also has no shortage of occupants, as we're given 9 minifigures here, 2 of which are newcomers to us. The first is often referred to as the Old Samurai, whose unique, more age-weathered faceprint and sheet metal armored torso make him exclusive to this set. And finally, we get a skeleton, who I suspect used to be one of the robbers, given his red bandana. Flying high above the fortress is another ninja glider, this one belonging to the Gray Ninja, who seems to take better care of his vehicles than the ones we've seen before, as the tattered and patched wings give way to pristine ones here. And finally, the Shogun is once again seen on his noble steed, in identical fashion to how we saw him in the Samurai Swordsman set from the beginning of this list, bringing things full circle. Flying Ninja Fortress is a fantastic finale to this groundbreaking wave of LEGO Ninja, and though it's one I could never quite get my hands on as a kid, I'm thrilled to finally have the chance to build and play with it. But what do you think of this excellent first wave of the Ninja sub-theme? Let me know your rankings in the comments below, and stay tuned for the next and final wave in the sub-theme in the coming weeks. If you want more retro LEGO content like this, click on the playlist on your screen. And most of all, thank you so much to the members of the Brick Guild for making these videos possible. And until next time, stay stealthy.